Steve Jobs made his mark on history through the innovations he introduced and the revolutions he brought about. One of the key figures responsible for popularizing the concept of the personal computer, Jobs also revolutionized the music industry and later helped spread the possibility of having a computer in everyone's pocket. It's no wonder his name became synonymous with innovation, creativity, and simplicity. Just like his entire body of work, his method of creativity and innovation was also simple, and it's something you can use too. Contrary to what many believe, creativity is not a gift. It can be learned and developed. In fact, you can find some important tips in the book Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. In Steve Jobs' case, he was responsible for introducing seemingly complex items and services that actually stem from a simple strategy of combining two already existing elements. That's right. Innovation often results from the combination of two or more existing elements that, when brought together, give birth to something new. Despite having the assistance of some of the best professionals in the market, like designer Johnny Ive, Apple's creations under Jobs' leadership were developed from a concept known as combinatory thinking. This concept illustrates the dynamics of using two or more things to generate a third, thus creating a form of innovation. In the case of Apple, Steve Jobs repeatedly succeeded in combining features from different origins to create something innovative. Here are 3 examples. The first is the iPod, Apple's music player. At the time of its launch, the product could have been seen as just another MP3 music player, but it held an innovation that set it apart from the others and helped the entire music industry. At the time, the music industry was desperate because of the piracy of MP3 music files, spearheaded by the controversial Napster, a program that forever changed the market. At the time, thousands or even millions of people stopped buying CDs and started downloading MP3 music for free from Napster and other similar programs, which was an act of piracy. But people did it anyway. However, in many cases, the MP3 download did not go as expected. It wasn't just about downloading a song and getting another one. You could also infect your computer with some malicious file. Because of this, many people were resistant to MP3s, as it was not only an illegal act, but could also bring legal complications for the user. In this context, Napster immensely harmed musicians and record labels while failing to fully satisfy its users, whether from a qualitative standpoint or from an ethical and moral perspective. To solve this, Steve Jobs launched iTunes, essentially a program with the same concept as Napster that allowed people to download MP3 music legally. The user would initially pay only 99 cents per desired song, which ensured that the downloaded music was safe and authentic, while also providing remuneration for artists and record labels. This was revolutionary in itself, as it was possible to buy a single song instead of the entire CD. However, Jobs didn't stop there. iTunes was the means to supply Apple's MP3 player, the iPod. With this combination, Jobs innovated by creating what popularized the device, having 1,000 songs in your pocket. This way, Jobs provided a new revenue stream for musicians and integrated a huge differentiator into his physical product. In practice, the iPod became a combination of an MP3 player with a system similar to Napster, but legalized with the correct songs and high quality. The product was extremely revolutionary and provided a new income source for musicians worldwide when the game seemed to have been lost to piracy. The success of the iPod soon led to another revolution. Over time, the iPod gained more tools and features, such as a touch screen and various applications. This was the foundation for the combinatory thinking that combined the iPod with a cell phone, thus creating the iPhone, the world's leading smartphone. Moreover, the iPhone also expanded the market for applications, which made much more sense within the horizon of smartphones than just within the universe of iPods. In this way, The new, totally innovative product combined the best of both worlds, the tools that already existed, and gave birth to a new dynamic, thus starting the so-called digital era of apps and smartphones. In the same vein, Apple managed to combine the concept of iTunes, a music marketplace, to give rise to another store, this time for apps, the App Store, which offered both free and paid applications, following the same model as the music sold during the iTunes era. But that wasn't all. The last creation introduced by Jobs also followed the same logic. Nothing less than the combination of two already existing elements: the touchscreen, already present on the iPod and iPhone, and the Palm Top, a product that had existed for decades. Until then, Palm Tops were known for being operated with a stylus, and some older models had some buttons or even attached keyboards. For a long time, Palm Tops were widely used by executives and enthusiasts but fell out of favor, mainly with the advancement of laptops and cell phones. Apple itself had already tried to succeed in the mobile device and Palm Top market with the Newton, a device developed in the early 1990s, but without much success. However, in his last years, Steve Jobs managed to reintroduce the idea of a mobile device with a new device, not as big as a laptop and not as small as a cell phone, that combined the system of apps already developed by Apple. The iPad, a device that awakened in millions of people the desire for a product they never imagined they needed or even wanted to have, even without needing it. The iPad created a new category of device and opened up the tablet market to the world, which until then had been limited to a specific audience. Additionally, once again, an Apple product benefited from combinatory thinking by also integrating the network of apps from the iPhone and iPod. In this simple way, Apple, Steve Jobs, and his team managed to give rise to innovative creations, showing that creativity is not a gift and can often be just an exercise. Had you ever thought about combining something? Share with us in the comments.